everyone, this is Ms. Moffat from across the Litoverse, and I am here with transmission number 2. So last week was a very productive week for the blog, I have to say. I managed to get through 3 books, and I have 3 different reviews up at the blog as well. I read The Night Watch, which was lovely and magical and bureaucratic. I also read The Complete Persepolis, which was very dark and daunting, but also very well done and a great read. And I have finally been initiated into the Hunger Games. So I have 2 books left from that series to check out. The first was interesting, to say the least. So that should be quite the finale to the series. Also, last night I managed to get through a certain movie that people might have known I was excited about. Yes, my review of Sucker Punch is essentially what the movie lacks in cohesive plot, it makes up for in a killer soundtrack. And also the pretty. So without further ado, I will get started on the books that I have out from the library or on loan for the upcoming week, or weeks to come, so yes. The first book is actually, I have this on loan from another friend, from a friend I shall name Ms. Gusta for this account. I know many people with the same name, so it gets kind of confusing. So she lent me a book that is called The Book Thief. I'm pretty sure most people have heard of this one because this is another very buzzworthy book at the moment. I don't actually know a whole lot about the book. I'm assuming it is about a thief who has a penchant for books. Basically, the big review that I got for this book was from Ms. Gusta, who said that when she was reading this book in a cafe by her house, a guy actually stopped, came up to her and said, "You are going to love that book." I don't really know of a better book review you could get, so I'm excited to read that one. Hopefully she will let me have it out for a longer period of time, because I kind of have a lot of stuff out from the library at the moment. So, The Book Thief. The next book is a book called Solanin, and it is by Inio Asano. I believe that this is the entire story arc, actually, for the book. I first found out about Solanin via Viz Media. They have an application where you can go on and sample the first chapter from whatever manga collections they publish, which is a great option to have just in case you're kind of curious about what's out there. And Solanin was one that I was interested in. This book is about, it's a girl who has just recently graduated from college. She has just entered the working world, and she's, struggling with the idea of becoming a member of the so-called real world, which is kind of a timeless issue. And to see it in manga format is just fantastic. So I'm excited about that one as well. The next 3 books are all poetry books, actually. I went on a bit of a poetry blitz when I was browsing at the library. That's not a term you come across very often. The first book I've got is Dion Brand's Ossuaries. This was the winner of the 2011 Griffin Poetry Prize. And for those of you who are not in the know about poetry and the poetry scene, the Griffin Prize is a very big deal. Dion Brand, with this book, for winning the award, she won $65,000. And shortlisted authors are given $10,000 to read at the Griffin Poetry Shortlist event. So it's a big deal to win this. And I love Dion Brand, and she is a master at long-form poetry, so I'm very, very excited to read this one. The next book I have is Liar by Lynn Crosby. I first found out about Lynn Crosby when I was working my internship. One of the editors at House of Anansi, Melanie, she works really closely with Lynn, and she had said to me, if you like Canadian poetry, you've got to read Lynn Crosby, which is a pretty awesome review to get from your editor. So I'm not really familiar with her work, so I can't really give you a big insight as of yet, but I'm sure the review will be a very good one. And the last book is called Meridian Line, and it's by Paul Bélanger, translated into English by Judith Cowan. I first picked this book off the shelf because I thought I recognized his name, but it turns out that I did not. I think it was the cover that first drew me into the book, actually. That's a very eerie cover image. I tend to have the mentality with poetry, especially with the library, that it's something that you really need to just experiment with. It's literally you pull a book off the shelf and just really explore it, because that's the only way you're going to find excellent poets. Paul Bélanger, I hope you are a gem. So that's it for me for books that I have out from the library. I actually have some that are either in transit right now or are waiting for me at the library, but I thought I would spare you from those just because I could keep going all day about these books. So that is all for me right now. I'm probably going to head out to enjoy some of the snow that we have out there, because we finally have snow that is staying on the ground. No more spring weather for Canada, or at least Ontario. So yeah, that's me for this week, and I hope you guys are enjoying the blog so far, and I will be back later with some of these books on review. So I hope you have a good weekend, and signing off.